So our crew's trying to get this one off the trailer. Cap looks like he's about ready to attempt to pull off. And he steps away from the helm again. This crew's actually been at it for a few minutes here on the dock. Cap kind of backed it down, kind of stared it down, got off, took a look, and made sure everything looked okay. I mean, it is a big boat. So he's back at the helm. I'm guessing we're ready to pull off now. Fires are up. Puts it in reverse. But it's not really pulling off. And there he goes, tries it again. And she's not coming off the trailer. So he may have to back this one further down. And no, he's giving some instruction. The ladies are going to the bow. I got a feeling he forgot to unhook the bow eye on this one. Oh man, at least he's got somebody there to help him out. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting Boynton Beach. So he just gave her a shot of reverse again. But that didn't really do much. Waiting. Okay, so our girl's stepping away now, so I'm assuming that's the good to go sign, and there we go, he's pulling off now. So this crew, I can hear the alarm going, is having an issue. They did make it into this point okay, and then the engine stalled. But obviously with the engine cover being off, it sounds like they've been having troubles up to this point anyway. So, that's curious to see what they're going to... I'm not sure what he's grabbing, but whatever it is now an oar. This is one of the reasons you probably should keep one of those retractable oars on your boat. You'll just never quite know when you need it, and when you need it, you're going to be thankful that you had it. But again, kind of like our guy's showing you, you can be a little bit intuitive, and if you don't have an oar, find something. I mean, you guys see it all the time when we're filming down here at the ramps. It's not uncommon for us to find human oars where, in a situation like this, somebody literally jumps off the boat, grabs a line, and tries to swim the boat to the dock, which is actually a more difficult task than it sounds. But typically they get there, and it's another one of those reasons I would always tell everybody, carry some extra long lines, because the easiest way to do that is not to have somebody swim the boat to the dock, but actually be able to swim to the dock and just toss 50 or 100 foot of line to them if you can get it over to the dock. And the infamous hook always helps. It looks like they've got a gaff, but a gaff or a boat hook, always a great idea on the boat, especially when you're docking, because if you've got one and it extends to 15 foot, all I've got to do is come within 15 foot of the dock, extend that thing out, grab the dock, and pull myself over. Typically going to have a whole lot more control that way, and definitely less risk of smacking into the dock. But worked out okay. Our crew came up with a way to paddle, came up with the hook to try and get them pulled over, and they should be good to roll, which is just an interesting setup. And here comes our crew with the big inflatable back at it again, and this time they're trying to load. Cap's got it lined up. Brake check. And it's trying to push on, but you can tell by the way the boat's kind of bouncing around, something's not quite lined up right. And I'm just guessing he's going to have to back out and try to line this one up again. So he backs up a little bit, trying to line it up. Back into forward gear, but he's coming into the same angle that he originally kind of came in at, and now it's even more off. Got to give yourself a little more room to work on this one, guys. If you ever come in and you find out your angle's off and you want to make your second approach at it, typically, unless you're really close on that first angle, I would almost always recommend just back all the way out and completely reset yourself up. He tried to go for the short throw, just back out just enough, try and line that bow right up, but I mean, you got to be at a good angle to be able to pull that off. I mean, you must just barely be missing and not have a ton of wind and current. And today the wind and current, I won't lie, down here at Boynton's not too bad at this point in time. Sometimes it's rough, and you can kind of tell in the background right now there's not a ton of movement on the trees. And the water looks pretty stale in front of us as well, as it's not really going across the screen really fast in any one direction. So coming back in, but now that stern's kind of kicked around close to the dock, I got to imagine again, he's just not quite right on his angle here. I'm gonna try one more time. This angle might work for him, but I just see the motors turn so much that makes it kind of look interesting. And this one's interesting as well. We got a truck up here backing down the ramp the jet ski's on. So the boater's saying he was going to spray the jet skier, but he saw us filming and didn't want to do it on camera. I guess the jet skier got him wet further back over here, and that jet skier's heading back over there. I bet they're going to have some words, but this is a typical fight we see down here at Boynton. Not the getting wet part, but somebody went and used the courtesy dock, brought their trailer down, kind of what you're supposed to do, and somebody else was on the dock blocking their path to getting loaded. So now they're asking that person to move. And after a few moments, guys, everything's kind of worked out. The jet ski, you can see him off to the right, did pull off the dock to go ahead and give room for the boater to try and load. But then, of course, we've got our guy in the inflatable who's struggling. And as we mentioned earlier, sometimes it's easier to back all the way out and start over. And after a few more attempts, that's what he's decided to do, as you can see here. But when he did that, he blocked the other boat that was coming in. So the boat we see coming across the screen was the one that was asking the jet ski to pull out of the way. So now this crew, they're going to try and load. Our guy on the inflatable's trying to get it right as well. But everything works out. The jet skier moved. And nobody was overly rude in the process. Like, that's one of the worst parts down here is we see people just arguing and fighting and cursing up a storm when this happens. The best thing you can do is just ask politely. It's like, hey, bro, like, you know, I was over at the courtesy dock. My truck's there now. Can I please just get past you to load? And most people are going to respond okay to that. It just depends. I mean, you know, it's a hot day. People are out there boating. Not everybody's going to react the same, but in this situation, it looked like it worked out all right. And as we can tell, the inflatable's on, and this crew looks like they're going to be good to go, and our jet skier should be able to come back in on his dock here in a moment and be all straight. Yep, here he comes, and all these crews look like they're ready to go. And speaking of ready to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.